Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay, so hello.
Hello.
No. So welcome to this talk on Purushartha. It's a niche topic in the understanding of modern yoga, but the most fundamental topic when it comes to the traditional understanding of yoga. Can you hear me? Yes? And that's why we thought that we should talk about it. Not just me speaking about it, but we should talk about it. Because it is not just a theoretical topic or subject, but it is something that we can use in our day-to-day lives. Even if you are not a yoga practitioner or a spiritual seeker. The idea of this thing called Purushartha, we will go on what this is later. But the ancient Indian society, when it started getting organized, there was a need for a social system, a social order, like any social order, tribes, communities, communism, democracy, these are all social orders. Marriage is a social institution. So there was a need to stabilize the society through a system, through a structure. Why? I'm asking you why there is a need to stabilize society through structures. For better organization, okay. What else? To avoid conflict, fighting, chaos. Absolutely. I mean, if there is a free pass for everybody to do whatever they want, everybody will do whatever they want, Like somewhere I read the definition of ethics. The definition of ethics is doing what is right, even when there is no law about it, right? So humans basically have this animalistic tendencies, which need to be harnessed. Animals are animals in the animal world, animal ecosystem, that's okay. But we humans have somehow evolved to so-called top of the line of the species and have everything, power, intellect, we have dominated the 5 elements. So we need some system to regulate our human potential. So all cultures in the world have had their own regulatory systems. Many thousands of years ago, in the Indian subcontinent, they also devised different kinds of social systems, social orders. This Purushartha model is a very, very effective and efficient model of tapping into human potential. Please note, I am not even saying spiritual potential, human potential across. When we discuss, you will know how this Purushartha system has given access or gives access to everybody. Not just those 5% spiritual people who are looking for something transcendental. I'll give you a simple example. There was a philosopher called Francis Bacon, who is known to be kind of a father of science, modern science. And he had this idea that humans need to dominate the nature. Okay, this was around 15th century, sort of pre-Renaissance era. Why? Because only by dominating nature, 5 elements, humans are going to kind of rule over them and tap into the natural resources. But the Indian cultural framework works not by dominating the nature, but by working with the nature. In fact, Francis Bacon's idea of overpowering nature is one of the bases of colonialism. We never had something like this in the Indian subcontinent. I'm not saying he's bad, this is good or something like that. I'm just giving you two types of thought processes. The Indian subcontinent social order has always been one with the nature, one with the ecosystem. That's why we have these, you see photographs of goddesses and gods here. They are very nature oriented. There is inclusion of nature everywhere. They will have some tree associated with it, with them, or some animal associated. Every deity in Hinduism will have an animal associated with them. So it is very inclusive. And this is something that we need to understand about the inclusive social order. So, Purushartha, this term comes from two words. Purusha here means the individual. Okay? And Artha means goal. Goal, goal, aim, purpose. So Purushartha is usually translated as the goal of human life, goals of human life. And because there are 4 Purusharthas, it's called 4 goals of human life. Why are goals so important here? Is because humans, we all know, we are all looking for something more than what we have. It may be about material possession or spiritual desires. Humans cannot sit still. Like if you see a cat, right? Cat will go around the house few times, gets her lunch or dinner, and then cat will sit. Cat can sit in one place for hours. Just get up, just lick herself and then again back, Sometimes the cat will be here for 3 hours and then just go walk there and go there and again 3 hours over there. A very satisfied life. Sometimes people who are pet owners, they feel why my life is not like that of my pet, right? Like dog owners want to be as loving as their dogs, cat owners want to be as chill as their cats. That's because human nature is in an unsettled, so to say, unsatisfied, dissatisfied zone. That's why we are always desiring something more than what we have. The Indian philosophy doesn't say this, call this as right or wrong. It just says, okay, fine, you have this passion or deep desire to attain something more than what you have and what you are, let's regulate it. Why? Because again, if this goes under, this is not tapped into properly, it will lead to chaos. Like, for example, I want peace of mind. But if I don't have a very regulated way of finding my peace, I will go and start fighting with all of you. If all of you are my neighbors and I want peace of mind, I'm going to go and tell you to shut up. I'm not going to find my own ways to regulate my desires or shut my windows or, plug my ears to be quiet. That's why Purushartha is a framework in which maximum amount of human goals are kind of included. And because humans are of this passionate, active, most times irrational mindset, it is important to start off the goal with a firm foundation. Firm foundation in something that will see to it that does not create more chaos in the society. This is clear? Roads are for everyone, but traffic signals everybody should abide by. Why? Because if traffic signal does not work, everybody will drive the way they want, leading to chaos. So systems are important. Systems, in fact, following systems will help regulate energy. Like getting into a train. If you've been to India, especially the place where I live, a city like Bombay, we don't usually believe in queuing up to get into any public transport. So when the bus comes, everybody wants to be the first to get in. Right? So this is classic. And it has been seen that if you make a straight line, if you make a queue, everybody can get in efficiently and effectively. But if everybody wants to get in first in the bus, get the best seat in the bus, then it is utter chaos, which is neither good for the bus system or the individual passenger. That's why it was realized by these ancient scientists, I call them ancient sociologists, that there has to be, if we are going to give a free pass to everyone to tap into their desires and goals, there has to be there has to be an order, some kind of basis on which everybody can thrive. So the first goal, remember we said Purushartha are the goals or aims of human life. The first goal is called, I'm sure you've heard this term, dharma. D-H-A-R-M-A. Dharma. Dharma. Okay? Now, what does dharma mean? Dharma comes from the etymological root dhra. Dhra means to hold. To hold. I interpret it as stability, stabilizer. Now you remember what I said, fundamental. There has to be some basis. It's like like 2 plus 2 is 4 in Dubai, but 2 plus 2 is 6 in Abu Dhabi. Though it will not happen ideally because it is mathematics. But still, if that was the case, world would be chaotic. So dharma is as much as possible centralization of some rules and regulations. As much as possible. Why am I saying as much as possible is because even the ancient social scientists realized that ethics and morals are relative. Ethics, morals are relative. 100 years ago, there was certain law, now certain different law. So even they realized. So basically, dharma could mean many things. Many things. Okay. If you go and Google this term dharma, it will give you more than 10 definitions. Why? Again, because context. Always remember, in the field of yoga, the terms are interpreted based on context. Context is more important than the actual term. Okay, as yoga students, you should remember this. So whenever you find a word in yoga, always look at the context around it. Don't just take this word means this. Sanskrit language is, I call it very feel-oriented. Not very normative, very feel-oriented. What is it trying to say? Okay? And that's why sometimes studying the Sanskrit text can be very confusing as well. And if you don't know this, then one interpretation says this, other interpretation says this, and then you get confused. So dharma has many meanings, from universal dharma to personal. Okay, so I'll give you a few meanings of dharma. They'll say the dharma of the sun, S-U-N. Okay, what is the dharma of the sun? In fact, tomorrow we have a yoga teacher meetup and we are going to discuss this topic, dharma of a yoga teacher. It's going to be very interesting to find out that what is my dharma as a yoga teacher. So here dharma means purpose. Or even you can say responsibility. Role, responsibility, purpose, duty. Like I said, there will not be one single meaning of the term. Like for example, from a cosmic point of view, the dharma of our sun, S-U-N, is anyone? From a cosmic point of view. From a cosmic point of view. Yeah, to hold the planets in orbit. And it does that with its gravitational pull. No? Nice, though they say, cosmologists, they say that the planets are moving away from each other very gradually. But yeah, right? Our solar system has been the same way for millions of years, billions of years. So that's why I said, from cosmic point of view. From an individual point of view, the dharma of the sun is to be radiant, to give light. It's his nature. The dharma of the sun is to shine. Of course, this is a very human interpretation. But the dharma of the sun is to shine. And in its shining, it creates life on earth, at least. Till now we know. Is this clear? In that sense, what is the dharma of water? What is the dharma of water? Yeah. Nourish, okay. When does water become water? When does water become water? When does water doesn't? Okay, let me just make it easy. When is water not ice? Yeah. So what is the nature of water? To flow. As opposed to what is the nature of earth? Let's look at the 5 elements. Yeah. What's the nature of earth? If earth starts flowing, chaos. If water freezes, means if water comes into the nature of earth element, global freeze, there will be no potable water. See what's happening? Earth, what is the dharma of earth? To hold. That's why the root, the etymological root of earth is also, the word is called dharti, means dhar, to hold. It's the same root as dharma. Earth is supposed to hold. We are sitting on this floor, on the first floor of this building, because the floor is holding us, no? The floor is in earth element. If the floor suddenly liquefies, we will not be sitting here. So everything around us is in its dharma. If that thing doesn't do its dharma, chaos. Not just around us, in us. What are eyes supposed to do? Eyes are supposed to receive data, not see. Okay? Eyes are just receivers. Sight happens at the back. What are ears supposed to do? Again, receiving. What is skin supposed to do? Send data of touch. Look around you. We are sitting here and some of us are listening now here, okay, with those who have joined us online. The internet is doing its dharma. The tablet is doing its dharma. We are all doing our dharma as participants, as seekers. We are all in our dharma. You see that? We are all doing what we are ought to do. Ought to. Everything. This table is holding the tablet because the table is tabling. The tablet is tableting. Now imagine, okay, just bring out your creative imagination. Now let's imagine there is just 1 second in which, let's make it sound a little mystical. Somebody orders everything around us to, for 1 second, don't be in your dharma. What will happen? In just that 1 second, chaos. See that? And this was observed by the ancient sociologists. And they say, wow, everything is working in order. And since everything is working in order, we should also work in order. If we don't work in order, everything will be in chaos. Clear? You know, that's why they say yoga is a vision. More than a practice, yoga is a vision. That's why the philosophy of yoga is also called darshan. It's a vision. When you study yoga, you get a vision of life. How to look at the world. I will give you a simple assignment as yoga teachers and seekers. Start looking at everything from a dharma point of view. For next 1 month, the whole February, let's make it Dharma February hashtag. Dharma challenge. 28 days Dharma challenge or whatever. Start looking at everything. Wow, everybody is doing their own Dharma. Yeah, traffic signal is doing their Dharma. You know, the taxi guy is doing his Dharma. Oh, I have to do my Dharma. As a yoga practitioner, I have to show up for my practice. As a yoga student, I have to do my studies. As a mother, I have to take care of the kids. You see, when everybody starts living by their own Dharma, life goes in system. The chaotic component, I'm not saying life can never be chaotic. I'm not saying life can never be uncertain. But we can reduce the probability of uncertainty by creating systems, organizations. This is dharma. To see that everything is happening in order, and therefore I should also contribute to that order in my own little way. So your first contemplative assignment or homework is start just observing. Like right now, if I look around like a whole 360, I can see everything in his dharma. AC is doing his dharma, you know, everything. Now, if there's a power cut that happens, suddenly chaos. Chaos means like little chaos, but you know, AC will not work, you start sweating, and then everybody like, oh, it's so hot, blah blah. You see, slight electricity did not flow in the wire. So next time, see everything as an order. So usually they say there are 3 types of dharma. This is a slightly theoretical, but it will make you understand how the concept of dharma is also not linear. Okay? It's not linear, like I do my thing. No. I do my thing because I'm a part of a little circle. And that little circle does its thing because it's part of a bigger circle. So it's like concentric. Like an ecosystem. You must have heard of these examples that, you know, some species of plant or animal, it was introduced in one ecosystem where it was not indigenous. And then what happens? The whole ecosystem sometimes is destroyed. Invasive species called in biology. Invasive species. If small, in fact, if you put a couple of snails in some ecosystem, that snail is not a part of that ecosystem, then you see within 1 season, those snails have multiplied and destroyed that ecosystem. Yeah. So you just introduce one snail. I've read one incident like this, that there was in one country, as an act of compassion, the devotees released some sort of animal in one river. I think it was a turtle or something, as an act of compassion. And that turtle, within 1 year became an invasive species of that river. It multiplied so rapidly that their act of compassion, I mean, they should have checked. Okay, I'm releasing turtle. Wow, nice, act of compassion. Yes, on paper, yes. But you release that turtle as an act of compassion in a water ecosystem where it thrived beyond the normal and destroyed the entire ecosystem, including itself. You see, so this is how individual has a huge role to play in the universe. So there are 3 dharmas. Number 1 is called Swadharma. S-V-A. Swa means self. Swadharma means individual. The right of an individual, the role of an individual, responsibility of an individual. It's personal, okay, subjective. S-V-A, self. So subjective.
So this means subjective. Subjective to its life that's always changing.
Correct. Yeah, like for example, eating, exercising, sleeping properly, getting rest. All these are my swadharmas for maintenance of the self. Clear? Or going to work, making money, paying taxes, resting, enjoying life are all swadharma. Okay, again, duty, this is why words are a little dangerous. Sometimes when I say duty, people are like, duty. No, it doesn't have to be like, like how, this is also subjective. When every word creates a different impact on different minds. When I say purpose, people are like, no, but say purpose doesn't mean like, some grand purpose. No, it's just do your thing. Okay. Many people don't like this word duty. That's why I don't use it much. When I say role, that word is good. Duty, no duty. Because, connotations of oppression and this and that. So that's why I always give like 4-5 words and take whatever you sits well with you. Yeah, exactly. Find my purpose. Exactly. Yeah. Right? So basically, the Swadharma is individual. And there's a beautiful line in Bhagavad Gita, I think chapter 3, verse 35. And it's just incredible because Krishna says, it's better to do your own dharma than to desire to do dharma of others. And this particular line is very, very impactful in the social media dominated world that we are living in. When every other post from every other person makes us feel like we are not good enough, and we are not doing enough. If you are a 200-hour teacher, then you teach at 200 hours. There's nothing wrong in it. But if you're 200-hour teacher, you're like, why am I not teaching like the 500-hour people? This will not allow you to be in your swadharma. Will not allow you to imagine if this happened in the animal world. If crow was like, oh, why am I not like a peacock? And peacock was like, why can I not fly like an eagle? And eagle was like, look at those duckies, they're just floating around. No, just do your thing. Eagle, do your eagle. Duck, do your ducking. No, really, this is And look, 2,500-year-old yoga scripture says this: do your own thing. Let the world do its thing. The other day I saw some reel of Mike Tyson. I'm sure some of you must have seen it. In an interview, one person asked him, "How do you want the world to remember you?" And he said, "I don't care. I don't care if the world remembers me, doesn't remember me, and it doesn't matter." I'm like, yeah, everybody is going to be forgotten soon, sooner or later. So, because how much time we put in, how much energy we put in, my reputation, my legacy, blah, 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 these imagined realities, as they say. So, just do your thing, excel at whatever you are good at. If you are good at this idea of Swadharma is very, very fundamental to Indian educational system. Like not since last 200 years, but traditional. Like, oh, you are good at art, just focus on art. Just do this. Or you're good at math, just focus on math. Or you're good at fighting, go learn archery. Yeah, like talent-based education rather than some everybody should be an engineer or a doctor kind of education. So finding out what your child is good at. I think my child has good inclination for arts. Then you just nurture that. This is called Swadharma. This is the innate nature, proclivity. Oh, my daughter is so athletic. Oh, she's athletic. She's athletic and restless since age 3. So just channel her restlessness. Make her become a sports woman or some sports person. Because if you just force her into academic, sit down and study for 9 hours, that will boom, erupt. So the whole Bhagavad Gita talks about this. Right? The second dharma is Samanya dharma. Samanya. Samanya. Samanya dharma. Samanya dharma means general principles. What are these general principles? Means like not to harm everyone. Speak the truth, non-violence, be compassionate. General, nothing specific. Clear? And the third one, which is very specific to Indian context, is called Varna Dharma. V-A-R-N-A. Varna. V-A-R-N-A. Varna Dharma. Means duties based on your life situation, life stages, or profession. What does this mean? I'm a student, you study. You're a parent, you take care of a child. You see, these are life stages, right? The initial, whatever, 20, 22, 25 years, depending on what kind of education system you are in, is your student life. So in the student life, what is your dharma? It's to study, to excel in my studies. So you do that. Then the married life and things like that. Okay? Old age, what will you do? If in old age you're like poking your nose into your children's married life and things like that, then no, you have to step back. So your duties in relation to your life stage, this is very important. Many old people get disillusioned in today's world because they don't know how to step back, especially in joint family setup, or, family cultures, Asia, India, China, where, like they say, you don't get married to a person, you get married to a family, kind of. Yeah. So elders will be always poking nose into the children's family life and dictating terms. This happens. I mean, because they don't, now my child is grown up, my child has their own family. Now I will step back. This doesn't happen. You want your family life also, you want your children's family life also, you want to poke your nose in 10 other people's. You see, that's how generational conflicts happens because of this. Because you can't step. But Indian philosophy is specifically against that. Once your child gets married, you step back. Clear? 3 types of dharma. So, is the idea of dharma clear? We are just working on foundation now. What to do with that, we don't know. Just foundation.
Cosmic. How do I make my mind understand the differences?
Rita. Rita. Yeah, correct. So, RTA. Rita means the innate harmony in the cosmos. Okay? Innate harmony. I can actually imagine how this thing happens, It's just my poetic mind says that these ancient social scientists were looking up at the sky. That time sky was very, very clear and you could see millions and billions of stars. And you could see that everything cosmically is moving in an order. This is called Rita, R-T-A, Rita. A lot of Indian girls, their name is Rita. It's from here, Rita. Yeah. And then they said, wow, not only on Earth, but even cosmically, everything is working in order. Even the chaos is a sub-part of the order. Because they saw, the ancient people, right from the Mesopotamians, they were very good at astronomy. They had almost charted the entire night sky. Why? Because they could see the seasonal shift. They could see the yearly movement of the cosmos. They said, wow, this is happening repeatedly. The sun moves like this, the moon moves like this, the planets move like this, the stars go from here to there, and it's happening in order, year by year, every 12 years, every 100 years. Wow, everything is working as clockwork. This is Rita. Not just cosmically, the same order is replicated on Earth as seasons. That's why the word is the same. Ritu. The word is the same. The word for cosmic order, season, and menstrual cycle is the same. Because cycle. Rita, Ritu, and again Ritu. Because things are cyclic. That's why as Indians, we live in cyclic time frame. We don't live in linear time frame. You understand cyclic time frame? The most simplest example I give is my father. He always wanted to be an artist, but because of financial reasons, he had to become a lawyer. but never once felt upset about it, because he said, next lifetime I will be an artist. Cyclic. I asked him once, Dad, don't you feel sad? I know. When I'm an artist by heart, by nature, but because they moved from the village to the city, they wanted to make money, they had to sustain themselves. So he just went into education and became a lawyer. He said, no, I'm not upset. I had to do what I had to do in this life. Next lifetime, I'll definitely be an artist. So this is living in a cyclic time reference. A linear time frame person would have said, I wish I could have become an artist, but there's no chance anymore, kind of, it goes to this cul-de-sac, right? Finish. Here, round. So Rita inspires you to dharma. Because you see the cosmic order in the nature, you are inspired to be responsible towards your own duty. Because I want to replicate the same in my little ecosystem. A messy workstation is also non-dharmic. Oh, I saved my file in some folder. I don't know where that folder is. Need to be a little more dharmic. So dharma, again, why am I saying it? Because in modern yogic terms also, the term dharma is hyperinflated. Oh, doing your dharma, it's given this hyper spiritual connotation. No, dharma is that everybody is already doing their dharma. Imagine in our body there are trillions of cells. Every cell is doing its dharma. When the cell does not do its dharma, what happens? Cancer. What is cancer? The cells multiply at more or sometimes also less rate. Not sticking to the plan. So this is the foundation. Foundation is, I see this cosmic order and looks like everything functions properly at such a cosmic level. Why shouldn't I not replicate my own little system, my own little responsible program, which will help me tap into everything properly? That's why sustainable, this word sustainable is very new nowadays. But ancient culture, not just Indian culture, almost all ancient cultures are sustainable in nature, especially tribal cultures. You see, tribal cultures are very sustainable. Even if they have to kill for food, they will kill and then they will say, sorry. I've seen some rituals of these tribal people. They will kill a deer and then they will say, thank you for giving your body for our hunger. So, this is the basis. Clear? Any questions of dharma? So, don't make it like dharma is something out there. No, dharma is something out there also and here also. So then subjective. What should I? How can I be more efficient in my life? Sticking to your dharma. Now, once the dharmic principles are imbibed, one is free to achieve other things in life. Okay? So basically, the first goal is to be responsible towards the self and the order of society. That's the first goal. Being responsible to myself and the society. individual and the collective. Now the second Purushartha is Artha. A-R-T-H-A. Artha. A-R-T-H-A. Artha means prosperity, wealth, prosperity or wealth, and wealth. Why? Because most people in the world, okay, this is a very select group of people. Trust me, the masses do not think like we do. Nothing against the masses, but just because I make a statement doesn't mean it's exclusive. Okay, we are also part of the masses, but still, okay, handful of people are sitting for a topic like this. This itself says that the masses are busy in something else. Go to Dubai Mall. Right? That's what we are coming to. Yeah? There will be more people over there engaged in artha than in moksha. No? Anyway. So what I'm trying to say is all us humans have desires for things. It could be sensory desires, monetary desires. We want to be better than what we are in a material sense. We want to be better than what we are or what we have in a material sense. This system is not saying this is wrong or right, okay? This just acknowledges that there are people who want to have a bigger house, who want to have more salary, who want to go for 6 international vacations every year, whatever. Yeah, I mean, fine. Huh?
That's normal.
Yeah, okay. 6?
Yeah.
As far as they do dharmically, it's okay. Right. Yeah, this system will say, go for 8. As far as you do this dharmically. So the idea is, India it's 2. Yeah, I'll tell you the normal. In India it's 2. Like for really, not an average, okay? It's like above average, well salaried, well settled people, 2. Or at least 1. So this system acknowledges that many people have the desire of wanting wealth, wanting prosperity, materially becoming or getting something more. This is called the goal of earth. Nothing wrong. Go. Get it. As far as you do this dharmically, no issues at all. So basically, artha means the pursuit of material prosperity.
Sounds like we would say, as far as you do dharmically, as though dharmically is interchangeable for ethically.
Yes.
It's in that context.
Yes. You can absolutely, dharma means it.
So, the artha here is based on your stage of your life, right? So, for example, a kid or a person may not have the means of pursuing
Correct. Correct. That's why Artha happens in the second, we are not going into that, but second stage of life, the Grahastha. When you post education, you pursue Artha. If you want later on, remind me please. We will chart the 100 years life and which to pursue what. So that's the dharma is to be followed the entire life, but study about dharma happens in the first 25 years. Studying what is right for me, what is my dharma, what is ethics, the solid foundation happens first 25 years. Okay, so basically ancient Indians think that the life is 100 years, okay, for whatever reason that they assume. And they said that the first quarter of your life you give in to study and realization of what is dharma. So education, graduation, masters, whatever, specialty program or whatever. So making money, pursuing prosperity is allowed. Why am I saying this? Is because one of the main topics that I counsel a lot of yoga teachers about is relationship with money as a yoga teacher. That's a huge topic amongst a lot of yoga people, especially yoga teachers. How much should I charge? Will people come? Should I give discount? People ask me for discount. I don't want to sound like I'm charging too much. All this. Not just that, but also the what I call as the privilege guilt. Privilege guilt means, oh, I have fair enough money, but there are people in the world that don't have money, so I feel guilty. This is also huge in spiritual circles. Privilege guilt. But there are people, who are poor, who don't have enough. Yeah, but if you feel guilty, you will not be even in the shape to contribute to. Your guilt will make you inactive. Acceptance and gratitude. Shift your privilege guilt to privilege gratitude. And when you shift your guilt to gratitude, you can channel your privilege to helping others. Universe has given you wealth, not just for yourself, but also to help others. So use that. If you become guilty, then you will not even realize your potential to help others. So having money, making money is not wrong, is not unethical per se, according to yogic sciences. But the caveat is, as far as you make money, gather money, and also hold money ethically, dharmically. That's why in India we have an entire system of economics called Arthashastra. This this term, Artha Shastra. Even today, the subject of economics is called Arthashastra. There are models of monetary policy which are 2000 years old in India. Literally. Like money supply and all. If you know, in economics, we study money supply, monetary policies, and all that. There are models that kings have used, that their Arthashastris have written about. How should the money come? How much taxation should be? Who should not be taxed? Banking, trade. That's why at least the South Indian kings empire could expand all the way to Indonesia. Why is Bali a Hindu island? Because it was, it was formed or whatever, or influenced majorly by the Indian kings who went from south of India. Why is the biggest, largest Hindu temple in the world is in Cambodia? So it's monetary prowess, it's economic prowess, it's prowess of the king. All these are important parts of social development. Why am I telling this? Is because, especially in the spiritual circles, we think the yoga is just about this some transcendental thing, and transcendence is only possible by rejecting all the other terrestrial things. But that's not how it is seen. Clear? Any questions on Artha? So my tip, my reflection assignment for you will be being efficient in your being efficient and realistic in your pursuit of prosperity.
Would you say, based on, like, so for a child and for someone who's maybe feel like Artha is wooden, it's like, is it necessary? Is pursuit of financial prosperity essential when you're a child or
No.
retired?
No. So basically, again, for the time frame for pursuit of Artha is 25 years, from age 25 to age 50. Basically, make as much money as you can in 25 years, invest efficiently, so it will last you from 50 to 75. This is the economics of life stages. First 25 years, you study and understand Dharma, and come to, let's say in modern terms, come to a stage where you become professionally capable to create prosperity. That's why I love this model. Till age 25, and it's possible, okay? Like the times we live in now, like you have, if you find your niche early in your age, by 25 or by 30, you can crack it and literally open the tap of wealth. Literally. It's happening a lot of, like if you see these YouTubers and all, who tap into their niche, boom. There's so many people so many young youths, Gen Zs have now become digital nomads. So just money falling into their accounts from wherever they are. 6 months Bali, 1 year Mexico, 1 year India. Just go, just gather. Why not? Like the ancient Indian social scientists would be very happy. Wow. At the age of 35, yeah. At the age of 35, they are making money. Great. Yeah, because let's take YouTuber. Yeah, one YouTuber is sustaining so many. You know, you're making one YouTube video, editor, internet company. You are sustaining so many people just by your little work. So from 25 to 50, you gather as much money as you can ethically again. That's the caveat. And then, let's say, you invest it properly, that you can live out of interest or whatever funds that somebody's managing for you for the next 25 years till 75. And after 75, you reject that. Then you go for moksha. No, I'll come to it. After 75, you reject that too. After 75, you completely reject the wealth that you've created. I'll come to it. I'll come to it step by step. Come, not 75.
No, I don't
So you understand this? So pursuit of wealth, basically pursuit of wealth is not bad. That's why we have, how you know pursuit of wealth is not bad in Indian context? We have a whole goddess dedicated to wealth, Lakshmi. She is a goddess of prosperity. And this is what I love. She is not the goddess of wisdom. Saraswati is goddess of wisdom. So it's very clear demarcation. Doesn't mean she is not wise, but prosperity is fine.
I have a question. So in Lebanon, for example, there's no retirement. Every person relies on their own.
Yeah.
And so this is what people were doing, saving up for their old age.
Yeah.
Then recently there was the crash, the banking system failed, and everyone lost their money. Would you see this as karma?
No, I would see not karma. I mean, yeah, you can see it as karma, but this is how systems are created. They crash. New systems are created. They crash. This is just the cyclic order. In India also, you don't have unless you are a government employee or a corporate person. But I don't have as an entrepreneur, professional. I will not get wage from the government. We don't have things like in Europe where you get handouts from government. We never got anything during pandemic as well. So it's just the social system of the government. So yeah, market crashes, people lose money. That's how system works. I mean, look at the stock market. What is it? Stock market is nothing but just perceptions going up and down. It's purely perception related. I mean, imagine trillions of dollars get traded every day based on perception. Something as flimsy as perception. Like just last week, remember when the new DeepSeek model was launched? This company, NVIDIA, lost $600 billion in one day. $600 billion of market value one day. So imagine this is how it is very clearly stated in the Indian system of thought that this kind of prosperity is impermanent. You can pursue it, but you have to know that pursuit of this is not going to ultimately make you happy. Pursuit of this kind of wealth is not going to make you satisfied at all. I mean, if 6 vacation can become 7 vacation, 7 vacation, if 7 vacations, 7 international vacations doesn't make you happy every year, then 14 international vacations will also not make you.
So it's one of the pillars because the ancients knew, but it's human nature.
Absolutely. And human nature is everybody is not of that inclination to realize that wealth is not going to give me permanent happiness. This also requires, like when I said it, everybody was like, I could see all of you nod your heads. But if I made this statement in Dubai Mall, people would not understand. Please understand the context.
No,
See,
and if you said that statement when my bank account is low, I'd be thinking, oh, what? I'll be very happy when my bank account is high.
yeah, absolutely.
That,
Yeah,
that will make me
absolutely.
really happy.
Absolutely. In fact, I have written about this on my Instagram. I have written one, and many people, kind of reacted to it. I have written the title is "We Are All Consciousness," said no hungry person ever.
Yeah.
So it's all this high philosophy and all we can do when we have nice AC and meals to eat and things like that. So this is that's why in Bhagavad Gita also the chapter number 2 is the most fundamental chapter of understand the nature of the world, pursue wealth, but this wealth is not a guarantee for lasting happiness and stability. So somewhere we have to go through this struggle to realize how much is too much. And no amount of listening to any discourses is going to give you that understanding. You see, that's why these sadhus and monks can sit in Himalayas in a cave and meditate. Not because they have understand this. This is extremely important, especially because now this Kumbh Mela is going on. And everybody is visiting India to see sadhus and all. So these sadhus means monks or wandering mendicants. They have not, most of them at least, they have not rejected the world because the world is evil. They have rejected the world or they have moved away or stepped back from the world is because they've realized that this is a rabbit hole. Okay, my family couldn't take me for any international vacation. So now I built, just an example, though it's true in my case as well. I took my parents for their first international vacation. But the thing is, so I couldn't go for international vacation. So I reached this state of wealth where I take my family for 6 international vacations. But my family is still not happy. Why? Because 6 is normal for them. You see that? I spoiled them to bring them to a standard of living where 6 international, everybody has 6 international vacations, right? That kind of statement. So now, when they will have a family, for them 6 international vacation is normal. So they will aspire for 10. I mean, it's good for tourism economy, but where does this end? Is this clear? Same with the next goal. The next goal is Kama. K-A-M-A. Kama. Not karma. Okay? Kama. Kama means pursuit of pleasure, desire, emotional fulfillment. Relationships, art, music, and all these things. It comes in the same domain. Why? Because as humans, we have a natural need to pursue art. We have a natural desire or fascination towards aesthetic things. Nothing wrong. We all want a better dress, a better furniture, a more refined coffee, slightly more organic food, right? That's the paradox of our modern society. Cleaner the food, more expensive it is. This is how our current human society has not found the right balance. Organic food is more expensive than mass produced. And select local, the more the titles, select local, locally sourced, homegrown and all that, more expensive. 10% premium on everything. Like in Europe, they have this label called bio. If you go to Germany, Austria, they'll have BIO. I was told bio does not mean organic. Because sometimes you'll see bio and organic also on that. Like, natural, Sometimes like natural and then 0.1% fruit juice. Have you read some natural ingredients? And we're like, we just see natural on the pack, right? Like, wow, natural, yay. And then you read ingredients with 0.1% pulp. So kama means pursuit of joy, sensory, okay? This is all sensory. The earlier one, artha, was pursuit of material pleasures. Kama is pursuit of sensory pleasures. So what all comes in this? Pursuit of healthy relationships, emotional intelligence, something that is extremely important nowadays is mindful consumption. Mindful consumption of food, of services. Work-life balance. This will come in kama, work-life balance, artistic pleasures. How many hours should one be on social media? This topic will come under kama. Restraint, social media, going off social media for a week. All this will come. Your relationship with food comes under kama. Your sensual desires. Basically, how and what you consume through your five senses. Then again, this begs the question that will we ever have enough of sensory satisfaction? Just like monetary satisfaction, will we ever have enough sensory satisfaction? Just like artha, will we have enough kama? What do you think? That's why it's difficult, no, for us. Even with things that are as basic as food. Say when is very difficult. When somebody is pouring a good wine, no? Say when, never. Let it flow. I mean, our modern struggle of, of being too much on social media or, consuming too many documentaries on Netflix or whatever is the struggle. Again, the conclusion was, yeah, you can pursue it, but realizing it that it's not going to ultimately make you happy. That's why we have this whole thing called Kama Sutra. Just like we have Yoga Sutra, we have Kama Sutra. Each of these have their sutras, okay, by the way. There is Dharma Sutra, there is Artha Sutra, there is Kama Sutra, and there is Yoga Sutra, which is also Moksha Sutra. There are literal scriptures written on each of them. Kama Sutra is a book of how to optimize your sensual, sexual pleasures. Nothing wrong. As far as you consume kama, dharmically it is okay. As far as you indulge in pleasures, aesthetic enjoyments, dharmically, legally, ethically, it is fine.
But after had also a time frame. How about karma?
Artha and kama, 25 to 50.
They kind of go together. See?
Correct, exactly. And I like that. That's the, even biologically, that's the time when you have maximum energy, you have this motivation to do something, to build dreams, to manifest your reality. Go for it. Go for it. After 50 is something that many of us cannot do. That's going to be one of my focuses at work as well, in my work.
So, for example, like the sun stuff you were speaking about, for them, our time travel is probably not a priority. Because they don't care about measurements.
It's not a priority. Unless they manage an organization, like many sadhus, many monks, they have their own monasteries and all to take care of.
So, by this logic, then, you say that as a yoga teacher, you should also avoid that sense. If yoga is dedicated to moksha, you then say that by correlation, that should be the same as well.
No, because you may be a teacher of yoga, but what is your life stage? You are a grahastha. You are a householder. You are teaching about moksha. Doesn't mean you are a sadhu. You have 2 kids and bills to pay, but you are teaching about moksha. Number one, nobody is stopping you from teaching about moksha, even traditional. Okay? Number two, just because you are teaching about moksha doesn't mean you have to be a monk. You are teaching about moksha. It's like, you teach cosmology, but you are still on Earth. You don't sit on some asteroid and talk about space. You see, it's like that. So, what is your life stage?
So, the dharma then forms the basis.
Correct.
Varna dharma then
Exactly. Correct. Absolutely.
And so the distinction then is that the sadhus and kumila, for example, is then someone who is an outcast, so someone who's not within the varnas. Is that fair to say? Or their varna is moksha?
Yeah, they have completely surrendered to moksha. But the social system is such that when, at least traditionally, even today I would say, the social system is such that when you leave everything and commit to moksha, the people in Artha and Kama support you. And this you will see in India very well. But if you really want to see this in action, you should see in Thailand. Thailand, Sri Lanka.
That they walk around the world.
Yes, big, like really, the society is really, it's the dharma of Thai society to support the monks. And it's so good. Like, it's really like saying to these individuals that you have sacrificed everything for this high pursuit that we can even dream about, not even dream about. We will take care of you, don't worry. You just focus on it. You know, it's like a parent. Like child is really studying for some competitive exam. And the parent will be like, you know what? You just focus on the studies. I'll get you meals. I'll take care of everything. I'll clean your room. You just do your study. It's like that. So even like the head monk will have to ask for donations.
In the church, asking
Yes, absolutely. Yes, in most societies it is observed that in most societies spiritual pursuit is considered highest, and if somebody has naturally evolved to pursue spirituality, then the rest of the society should help. This is a kind of samanya dharma, unstated understanding that somehow humanity has had in all religions. Nobody told each other. So here the idea is that not everybody is inclined towards spirituality, but not everybody has evolved to a stage where they can leave everything and pursue it full time.
and nor should
More than not, should or should not, it's just not possible. It's not possible. It's like how all people cannot be the same.
Would you say it's only like 1% of society that can do that?
I really don't know. I would say less than 1%. Much less than 1%. Because you can also fake it. You can also fake it. Like so many. I mean, the whole religious conflict of, abuse and money and this and that. Just the other day, I saw a reel about the pastor who is saying that God wants me to have a private plane. Yeah, I mean, you're just telling his people that God commanded me that I should have a private plane and give the model number, and everybody in the congregation started clapping. So again, not for me to judge because I'm neither a pastor nor an owner of a private plane, but
But I think that's where we get confused, because you have spiritual leaders and you're not quite sure are they in the world or out of the world. So certainly like in like the evangelical Christian faith, particularly in the US, they do really pride themselves on this sense of prosperity on Artha.
Correct.
And it's because of God's blessings.
Correct.
So and that seems fair, because also I think
Correct.
in Hindu traditions that means you have Lakshmi's blessings,
Yes.
you're doing well.
yes,
But then there's like this, it's a fine line then.
Absolutely, there's a fine.
of saying, okay, well, maybe the private.
This is, yeah,
But where is that line? It's, you know, it's again, it depends on that person's.
yeah, and also this is why this is why spiritual students have been told to be with the teacher to see how the teacher is. Like in Bhagavad Gita, it is there are only two requirements to be with the teacher. Number one, inquire, and number two, give service to the teacher. Understand this? Means if you really want to study higher wisdom from a teacher, you just have to do two things. Number one, serve the teacher. Here, serve doesn't mean like give donations and all. Serve means be in the company of the teacher, and you could say in today's terms, shadow the teacher or be in what you call like internship with the teacher. Be with the teacher to see how the teacher behaves. Because ultimately, even there are passages which say that ultimate determinant factor of how your teacher is ethical, moral, their ethical, moral thing. Wealth and all fine, you know. Some may have, some may not have. So wealth is not at all a judge. So yes, some spiritual person could be wealthy. Now what to do? You're born in a wealthy family, now what to do? And you are spiritual. So yes, there's a thin line. It's not for us to judge. But then again, there has to be some way of determining. Correct. 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 Not Jain, all were prince, and Buddha was a prince. So this is called tyaga. You know, tyaga means to giving up. They gave up. I mean, Mahavira just gave up his throne, and he said, "Now I don't want this. I have to go and pursue something greater." It's like you have to leave your local university to do a PhD in some other college somewhere else. So you leave your familiar setting. This makes us come to moksha, the fourth pursuit. So all the first three were pursuits of the temporary, pursuits of something that is transient. Even dharma is a pursuit of transient. But moksha is a pursuit of something that is beyond transience, beyond impermanence. So, moksha is the pursuit of liberation, self-realization, The topic of yoga traditionally falls in this domain. Yoga is about moksha. Just in last 100 years, it has become about movement. Okay. But traditionally, it is about transcendence. Now, this transcendence could happen in two ways. Completely isolating yourself from the first three, or assimilating the first three. This is a thin line. Completely isolating, like I'm done with this society, so I go. Fine, fair enough. Some people have done it that way. Or, well, I will stay in this and rise. That's also. Sam? Now, what means moksha? Moksha literally means a lasting state of inner peace. This is my definition of moksha, because otherwise, self-realization and ultimate freedom doesn't ring a bell at all. Lasting state of inner peace. So you can pursue that even being in the world, so to say, in the world, the transient world. There are innumerable examples of saints, mystics, deities, gods, goddesses who have been in the world and, untouched by it. And that's why the first three dharmas, the first three are these pursuits. Why? These three pursuits should gradually refine us and take us to such a place where you realize that I pursued ethics, I pursued education, I pursued professional success, I pursued wealth, I pursued senses. Now I am at the stage where I have everything, but I'm still not. If you really plot the life cycle of someone who has gone through the first three dharmas and is now standing at the edge of karma, so to say, the jump to the mountain of moksha will be a leap of faith. Welcome. Welcome, because this is the most profound event that could happen in your life. It's absolutely, I call it existential crisis. And it is an essential part of one's spiritual evolution. I'm actually mentoring a few people, men of my age, okay, done, climbed the corporate ladder, achieved success, name in the newspaper, got the degrees, got the masters, double masters, PhD, whatever, one house, two houses, one car, dream car, vacation, travel 25 countries, enough funds in the bank, kids are happy, well qualified, everything, all boxes ticked, but still Huh. All boxes. Like nothing is exciting anymore. I was in Dubai. Yeah, been there 20 times. Yeah, like, I flew business class. I used to fly all the time. Like nothing is exciting anymore. Hey, your kid stood first in the class. I was first for the last 10 years in my school days. Like, you see, and many of us fall in that zone because we are, as I call it, hyper rajasic. Yeah, like self-motivated, self-inspired, energetic, also creative, also intelligent, also well brought up, also well studied, like everything, like height of privilege that we have completely tapped into and now exhausted. This is going to be actually my line of work from 2025 onwards to manage, to help these people, because I find a lot of these happening, especially because the times are not like in the 2010s anymore. Because, sorry, don't want to sound pessimistic, but I would perhaps when I say it, the world is not, when you look 5 years hence, not many people can see a rosy picture of society anymore. Like what people were looking for in 2010, 2005, 2007, like, let's do this, and things like that. So even that hope for the future is a little fractured. So we are this level of society, okay? There are different levels of society. This level of society, educated people, creative people, people who have sufficient funds, sufficient knowledge, good family background. We people have kind of reached that dead end kind of. Now what do I pursue? From Earth point of view, nothing much is exciting. Just another change of scene, like, okay, went to south of France and now south of Spain. So it's just south of something. Yeah, I mean, a beach is a beach is a beach, waves are waves and nice, Now what? This is this existential crisis, which I think is extremely important. And the difficult part is you cannot fake it. And when you are in it, it feels horrible. It feels like there's no way to go. But this is literally the kind of a platform from which you take the jump towards the unknown. And this is exactly why the ancient sociologists said, go through life. Go through life knowing that there is a phase coming for you, but yet you are not a hypocrite that you say, no, I'm already at that stage, I don't want to do artha, I don't want to do kama. No. So from age 0 to age 50, you go through life, do everything, learn from your failures and success, highs and lows, to come to a point at around 50, 55 when you realize, I did everything, I tapped into everything, yet I am not fundamentally happy, so now what? So the last door, moksha. This is how intelligently it has been created.
Although this ashram system with giving the years specifically does sound quite linear.
It is, because human life form, like they say, the whole basis of this system is that one human life is 100 years. But once you enter the moksha zone, it's cyclic. You see, like for example, they will say that we are all studying yoga because we have not studied it first. We have been studying it since many past lives. right? So you just every lifetime you just keep refining. Like in this lifetime, your drive for self-realization is 20%, not optimal enough. Okay, so next lifetime you will be born again in circumstances where you'll have to again go through the pursuit of artha, kama, get beaten by life a little more, and then next lifetime it will become 21%. Yeah, so like that, go till a tipping point comes when, like, there are so many in India and also in other religions as well. Okay, this is again now across religions. You have these small children who are so spiritual minded that they know they don't want to pursue the life of a normal person. They are well deserved to become monks or nuns or whatever. Straight away. In India, we have this whole system called Bala Sannyasi, means child sannyasis, child monks. There are some tests for that, and once they pass the test, you know that this person is not faking their desire for spiritual liberation, and then you are straight. Your whole line of study is completely different. These, little children, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, they'll be meditating 18 hours a day. So, once you start pursuing moksha, this is also a question addressed in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asked Krishna, okay, I'm on a path, but what if I don't reach moksha in this lifetime? Then Krishna says, don't worry, next lifetime you don't have to start from scratch. Okay? Next lifetime you build up from where you ended. So the universe sees to it that you are brought up in an ecosystem which is conducive towards your spiritual growth. That's why people like us the fact that we are here itself means we are still refining our desire for moksha. It's straight, right? If we were like 100% in a pursuit of moksha, we would not be here. Number one. Then what we should do? We should deepen our search for this state of lasting inner peace by just being honest to just two things: our sadhana and our study. That's it. Just being honest to our practice, we will keep refining our mind.
I have a question that's a little bit off topic, but I'm just curious about this. So you're saying that when you reborn, you start from where you stop, so you evolve.
Yeah.
What about a person who started life well, but then decided to go down or rabbit hole and did bad things? Does he start at the lower point?
See, this is a very multi-dimensional question. I mean, low as in what? Huh?
It is tomorrow night's lecture, right?
Yeah, actually what? Like for example, let's say a person was very successful for let's say the person was successful, okay? Then for everybody, this person was an epitome of success. And then he had this spiritual churning and he gave up all his wealth and lived like a very, very simple person. So for society, he became a fool. But spiritually, he became wise.
But more like he was very successful, but all of a sudden he fell into drugs and he ruined his life. He failed that he was doing well, but then he failed himself.
Yeah. This again will go up and down karmically. Answer to this is not so easy. Yeah, like sometimes they will have to go through to balance of some karmas. Maybe he was successful, first 30 years of life, fantastic, on the high, next 30 years of life on the low, next lifetime, karma cleared, life great. This can also happen. We really don't. And this is that je ne sais quoi, that we don't know, that X factor. Okay, I've lived my life completely dharmically. Still something wrong happened to me. Why? Like the classic question, why do bad things happen to good people? This is where the karmic thing comes in. But again, like I say, we have a very normal frame of looking at people. Like, for example, there was a saint in India who was blind by birth. Okay, so his family had abandoned him because he was blind. His family abandoned him on the staircase of a temple. But the priest of the temple, who was a very spiritual person, took him and helped him grow as his own child and brought him in this spiritual fold. You see? Now we can look at this whole setup like, oh, his family abandoned him, therefore bad. Bad for him. But who took him up? The priest took him up. And then he gave him the education of a spiritual person. So, what materially is bad may not necessarily be spiritually bad. That's why I'm saying, if somebody is in this existential crisis, yeah, spiritually it may be just that low point from which you're going to bounce off. So we have to step slightly out of our own mindset to see things as they are. Because this moksha doesn't depend on how much money you have, how much qualification. So your monetary low or your practical low may be the point that you had to reach to fly off spiritually. Okay, so my ending suggestion is just move along with life. Don't resist. Whatever comes, solve, move ahead. Right? Challenges come, learn, adjust, grow. That's it. That's all you do. Challenges will come to you. Go through the challenges, learn from them, adjust yourself, whatever is needed to be done, and wait for the next, wait for the next, wait for the next, wait for the next. That's it. This is the whole model of Purushartha. Alright? This model is based in hope. That everybody can reach the state of lasting inner peace. So don't forget that. This model doesn't take you, well, sorry, 50 years of your life you pursued everything and now nothing. No. From here we realize that what I pursued was transient. Now I will go to the pursuit of the permanent. That's it. That is where yoga is needed. Yoga comes in our life. Okay? Good. So with that we end. Join hands. Hail. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.